Unit 25.2, Jordan Harris.
Success. Moving on to income. The income is the term used to describe the amount of money that a company or business takes in through sales of their products or services. In terms of a sports business, the income is generated through the merchandise sales, tickets and subscription sales. This income can either be invested back into the business to gain better equipment, staff and resources, or it can be left and taken as a profit. Growth. The growth of a company is the term used to describe the amount of success that a company has. This is a good way of the business measuring the amount that they have grown throughout the year. This measurement is important as it could affect what decisions are made going into the following years. In terms of a sports business, the growth can be measured by the number of subscriptions sold, merchandise sales and new locations opened. Sustainable. This is how well the company or business is maintained and kept running well. The sustainability of a company is vital to ensure that they have a constant flow of money coming into the business and the equipment and staff are kept in good condition and re-updated if they need to be. In sports business, the sustainability of the business is important to ensure that the business can grow and continue to have a steady flow of income to help improve to customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is a term used to describe how happy the customers are with the service of the products and the purchases that have been used. A good level of a customer satisfaction comes from the quality of the products and services and the customer experience that the staff gives each customer. Customer satisfaction is important to ensure that the existing customers keep coming back. To staff satisfaction. The staff satisfaction is how happy the staff is working at this company and in the environment. The staff satisfaction is made up of working conditions, the way they are treated by people higher within the business, and other things such as rate of pay, hours per week, and the amount of holiday each member of staff gets per year. If the satisfaction of the staff is poor, then the staff are very likely to leave the business, and this will put the business in great pressure to get more people in. Know the legal and financial influences on sport as a business. Legal influences. Companies Act 1989. This act that was introduced in 1989, this act ensures that all large companies have to register themselves at the Companies House in Cardiff. This registration process entails going through a series of checks and agreements to ensure that the companies have to comply with the regulations of the house, which include keeping accounts of the companies recorded each year. Smaller companies still have to go through the same checks and process, but it is not intense as it will be for bigger companies. If companies fail to comply with this act, then this will be taken as a criminal offence. The Fair Trading, 1973. The Fair Trading Act is in place to manage how companies trade, merge with each other and compete with each other. It is mainly put in place in order to stop certain companies completely dominating a specific market. This act is more for smaller businesses, newer companies, Also to give certain markets a chance to work their way up and potentially get on the same level as the bigger companies. At Work Act 1974. The Health and Safety at Work Act is an act that was introduced by the government in 1974. It ensures that all staff that work at a specific company is put through proper full health and safety training before they even start to work for the company. The training involves first aid training and risk assessments. This act is backed by the Health and Safety Executive, who has the power to fine and order to close down the company if the act is not followed. This act is good for ensuring that health and safety risks are completely minimised, and that the staff know how to deal with health and safety risks if it were to happen. Moving on to number 3. Know the legal and financial influences on sport as a business. Protected cash flows. Cash inflow. The cash inflow refers to the amount of cash that a business is taking in. The cash flow can change due to many things. For example, an ice cream man would intake a lot more cash inflow over the summer holidays, as this is when his products are more likely to be wanted by the public. The cash inflow can also change depending on any publicity that the company has. Then the more staff they can recruit, more equipment. They can buy better and stronger equipment to help improve the products and services and help grow the business. In the sporting environment, the cash inflow will depend on the time of year, similar to the ice cream van. Sporting business cash inflow will spike at certain times of the year. For example, a football boot shop cash inflow will spike in the months of August and September, as this is when the football season is about to start, so more people will be looking to buy football boots. Cash outflows. The cash outflows refers to the amount of money that the business spends. This cash outflow is used for 3 main aspects within the business. The first is to pay off staff and any suppliers that the business may use. The second is to buy new and better equipment and facilities in order to grow the business. The third is to pay off any loans or paybacks shareholders within the company. The cash outflow for a sporting business will be a similar thing as a normal business. This term is used to describe the items that are bought by companies in order to obtain better equipment and resources that will hopefully improve the standard of their product services. For a sporting business, for example of a football club, they might buy better players and better equipment for training. Those purchases will hopefully train the players to become better and more fit for the game, therefore increasing the amount of people who will pay tickets to watch a game, because the more better equipment that business is bringing in, obviously, and more players, the more games they're going to be winning. The wages refer to the money that the staff gets paid for working within the business. The wages are usually paid to workers on either a weekly pay or monthly basis. The amount of wages that is paid out to each worker will depend on the hours they have worked during the week or month and how important their role is within the company. Within a sporting goods shops, for example, the shop floor workers will get paid the least amount than the store manager will get paid, as the store manager has more of a responsibility. Operational costs for a sports business is vital, as sports is very large industry with a lot of money in the industry as well. Sponsorships are a large part of promotional material, especially in football. For example, in the top level of English football, there are approximately around 643 million people worldwide watch the Premier League. So this number of people to reach out to is very good for companies to advertise their businesses during those games and at half time as well. Loans are used by usually small companies in order to stretch the budget in order to obtain equipment and resources in order to improve their business. On the other hand, these loans need to be paid back by the business at some point. Also, most loaners put a certain amount of interest on their loans, which results in the company paying back more than they originally got. In sporting business, a loan may be taken out in order to buy better equipment or buy a larger storage room in a sports shop, for example. Bigger companies would not really need to get loans as they already have a lot of money to spend on better equipment and resources. Business decisions. This term is used to describe the decisions that are taken by people that are high up in the business. This is usually on whether to spend money or not to spend money. The decisions can have an impact on the business income and any future movements within the company. With a sporting business, the decisions within football clubs are if the club wants to buy a player or not, will that player help him in the future, will that player not perform, or would it be a bad mistake? These decisions can have a good or a bad effect on the business, both positively and negatively, in which decisions can have the same impact on business within the industry.